The ANC government is intending to rename Sandton Drive in Johannesburg, in Sandton, into Leila Khaled. So they want to basically rename Sandton Drive so it becomes Leila Khaled Drive. So I will have two views on this, two divided views. I want to address this part because the American embassy is threatening to close. In fact, let me say, Donald Trump is threatening to close his consulate because there at Sandton Drive, just when you drive from Alexandra, Catherine Street, and then you cross Rivonia, you jump into Sandton Drive, going towards Ramaphosa's house there. So there's a consulate, US Consulate. So everybody in Johannesburg goes to that consulate. It's in Sandton Drive, opposite Sandton City. So the government of the ANC wants to rename that Sandton Drive into Leila Khaled Street, Drive. So the American embassy with Donald Trump wants to boycott that, saying they will close their consulate if Sandton Drive is changed into Leila Khaled Drive. Now, here's my view. America has got nothing to do with our affairs as South Africa. They've got no say on how. They cannot preside over us how to run our country. I'm referring to Donald Trump as the president. We're not having a war with American citizens, but the leadership, which is Donald Trump's administration, he has got nothing to do with our affairs. Whether we change whatever the street into whatever, he has got no business. That's the first thing that Donald Trump should understand, that this is our country. We run this country however we feel. We change any street name if we feel that there is any necessity to do that. So for him to threaten to say he's going to close the consulate, basically if you close the consulate, it means you are closing the US Embassy headquarters also. In Pretoria, you're going to close Durban, you're also going to close Cape Town, because the US Embassy has got 3 consulates in South Africa, plus the headquarters in Pretoria. That's the US Embassy, where all the decisions and everything in the South African US Embassy are taken. Those are the headquarters. So he's basically saying he's ending a relationship with us, acting like DA. You want to be a slave queen, America. You can close your consulate. You can close your headquarters in Pretoria. You can close Cape Town consulate. You can close Durban consulate. Who cares? Johan Rupert has, by the way, employed more people than you, US Embassy. So why do we have to tippy-toe behind one man who's sitting there at Washington, D.C., at White House? Why should Cyril Ramaphosa, as the president of the country, has to consult someone outside? Then we are run by gangsters now. This is a gangsterism kind of state. Because what does it actually has to do with him by us changing the names, the street names? So it means if we want to breathe in, we have to ask Donald Trump. Donald Trump, can we breathe in? Yes, we breathe in. Can we breathe out? It doesn't make sense. Completely, that's crazy. That's nuts. I've never seen such. And Donald Trump is too much. You know, the Democrats were not really too much. Donald Trump is too much. He hates Africa and he's so obsessed with South Africa. You know, those axes that you can't solve. You know, those axes that you can't solve is Donald Trump. He is so obsessed. He's having a toxic relationship with South Africa, to be specific. South Africa. He's having a toxic relationship. He must just back off. He must just back off. Mind his America. His America is too big and the economy is not doing well, by the way, there. He must just mind his business. That's the first segment. The second segment, I want to address the South African government. If you change Sandton Drive to Leila Khaled Drive, what is it going to benefit? How is it going to benefit an ordinary citizen who's staying in Alexandra, not far from Sandton, by the way, Alexandra, who's unemployed, who doesn't have any source of income? How is it going to change our lives as You know, I don't care about the street names. Whether you change Andre Street in Pretoria, you make it Tabusihume. Whether you change Church Street in Pretoria, you make it WF Nkomo, whatsoever, all those stalwarts. I don't care. I don't care. It has got nothing to do with me. You are doing your own thing there. The most fundamental problem that we should be focusing on is poverty, it's job creation, it's growing our economy, empowering small and medium enterprises, people who are trying their best, to build businesses and all of that. That's what I care about. Food security, that's what I care about. Industrialization, that's what I care about. I don't care about the street name changing. You want to change what do you call this street to Winnie Mandela whatsoever, William Nicol. I don't really care. Personally, I don't really care, because they change William Nicol to Winnie Mandela. What did we benefit as average citizens of this country? Someone who's poor, who's sitting there unemployed. What does it change that particular person's life? We should be focusing on real issues. So the South African government, is chasing, bread and butter issues. Simple issues that don't really have anything to do with average citizens. Let us be serious. Let us mean business. Let us work towards progress. Let us not focus on useless things. So in this issue of Sandton Drive to Leila Khaled Drive, I don't really care. I don't really care. But if I have to address America to say, listen, Donald Trump, you've got nothing to do with what we do in our country. We will resolve our country the African way. And we know that you hate Africa. You always speak ill about Africa, and you don't want to see it grow. By the way, if BRICS can succeed, we are going to drop the dollar, then use BRICS, and dollar will lose value. Because everywhere we trade with US dollar. That is one of the reasons why dollar is so powerful. But if we use BRICS and do away with dollar, where it's no longer going to be relevant to the market. So that is why America is so much against this BRICS issue. So on this issue of changing state names to Donald Trump, no, you've got nothing to do with our country. Please just leave us in peace. Please run America and make sure the economy grows there, because the economy there is declining, by the way. South African government, you've got more urgent issues that you should be focusing on than to focus on Sandton Drive. How did you get to that decision to say you want to rename it? What's going on? The name is no longer viable. It's no longer fashionable to call it Sandton Drive or what? I don't really care about the street name changing. Someone can say, yeah, but these are our stalwarts, and we are actually restructuring our country. No, we can restructure our country even when a Paul Kruger statue is there. But if you ask me now, yes, we should remove a Paul Kruger statue because it reminds us of our sorrow, our pain, and all of that. Apartheid government, brutality, everything. It was horrible. So those are the statues which are reminding us of our pain. Yes, I agree. We talk about Hector Peterson. Yes, I go to Soweto, to Orlando, and there's no way I wouldn't pass there and just hang around Hector Peterson's museum. So those are the things that, yes, we can be proud of, but at the same time, there are urgent issues. You change the street names instead of leaving the tax at 14%. You want to hike it to 16%. So there there are serious issues that we really need to be focusing on. So my view, Donald Trump, you've got nothing to do with our issues. At the same time, Cyril Ramaphosa, it's pointless, man. Whether you change the name or you don't change it, we benefit nothing. Or you're going to give us maybe 350s for changing names. I don't know. Maybe you're going to give us something. I don't know. But it's useless. We've got issues that are actually bothering us day and night that we should be focusing on. I don't know, squatters. That's my view, that changing street names, yes, maybe it might be necessary there and there, but those are not urgent issues that the government should be paying attention on. Politicians should they should fix themselves. They should get their house in order. They should stop partying. They should stop buying expensive cars and driving in convoys and staying in mansions. They should focus on fixing this country, because this country is about to collapse. This country is declining, going down at a very rapid pace. We are not growing economically and otherwise. We are not growing, but people are focusing on changing street names. It suits them. Maybe they benefit something out of changing those street names. But as for me personally, I don't think it's very important. It's so sad. So sad. We should be fixing our country. I don't know, squatters. Let's continue engaging. Thank you for watching my content. I'll keep on dropping. Please log in and subscribe. Thank you to the new subscribers. And click that notification bell when I drop the content to happen to be the first to get it fresh. Thank you, squatters.